Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I am once again on the road doing basketball. Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, there at home base at Keeneland, as we get set to take you through another great Saturday of stakes races. Hopefully you were listening in last week. I liked Opportunity, and I got you a double-digit payoff out at Oaklawn. We actually hit the pick three there, the all stakes of pick threes, the closed hatches, the Fletcher horse, I think it was Golden Lad in the middle, and then Opportunity, and then Center Court came through by narrowly holding on down at Gulfstream, I think for about a $10 payoff down there. Let's see if we can do as well or better next week. And Jim, we will start just up the road at Turfway Park, and they're not running the Rusherway this year, so a couple of graded stakes races. The 10th is the Grade 3 Fathead Bourbonette Oaks, or 3-year-old fillies, at a mile, which can be a tricky distance with a short run to that first turn there at Turfway. How did you see this one?
Yeah, the Fathead Bourbonette Oaks. What a name there. Got to have a sponsor there called the Fatheads, I guess. I like Super Sky, Todd Pletcher's horse. I went back and watched a couple of races that she had run, in particular the last race at Gulfstream when she was bumped at the start. And she came from way out of, should have won that race. And she got beat by half a length. And I think it sets her up very well for the Bourbonette Oaks. She's got a win over the synthetic at Keeneland. So she had to work really hard to get that last race. Go back and watch that one on February 23rd, and I think you'll better if you watch that race. And I'm going to key her on top, number 6, Super Sky. I'm going to use Aurelius Bell, the 7, Swiss Lake Yodeler, who I picked a couple weeks ago at Santa Anita. Didn't run very well in the graded stakes out there, but got beat by 3 3/4. Again, has a synthetic win in the Soviet Problem at Betfair Hollywood Park. So I think she's going to take well to the poly track at Turfway. And then I'm also going to use Sensational Bunny, who is 2 for 2 on the poly track at Woodbine. So you've got horses shipping in here to Turfway, running on the poly track, that have won on synthetic at Betfair Hollywood, at Woodbine, and at Keeneland. So that's what key I'm using. I always try to use horses that have run on the poly track before. And so I'm going to take Super Sky on top with those 3 horses below.
I ended up taking Sensational Bunny, one of the ones you mentioned. Mark Cassey, I think this is maybe a little bolder move than that he might normally make, and I think that and when he makes those bold moves, he put a filly in against the boys last year up in Canada late in the year, a 2-year-old, and she blew him away. And I think he's got a really coming off a really nice group of 2-year-olds, so this is one of them now 3, and I think the post position's a little bit of a concern. She's got to get out fast and clear them. And that's what I'm going to – I think the price will be right to take that risk with Sensational Bunny. So I'm going to take a stab. I like Sloan Square, one of the Pletchers that's lightly raced but has really shown a lot of ability. Aurelius Bell and Shannon Nicole were the other ones that I keyed with Sensational Bunny. But I looked at the ones you mentioned as well. This was a tough spot. But Sensational Bunny, the 10, is the pick for me. And I'm going to use her and probably 2 or 3 of these others, probably both of the Pletchers, in daily doubles with the horse I really like a lot in the 11th race, the Grade 3 Horseshoe Casino Spiral. That's We Miss Artie. They're going at a mile and an 1/8 in this race. The post position's not really a big factor because there's a long run to the first turn at Turfway when they go 9 furlongs. So We Miss Artie out in the 11 hole, not a big concern to me. Was one of the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland last fall. And I was told after that race that Johnny Velasquez it said Johnny was just really, really high on this horse. Out at Santa Anita, the 4th race is the Grade 2 San Luis Rey, so it's early on the card, and it's a small field, but I thought an interesting group. That I don't know that there's going to be a real low price in here. Who did you land on?
It's an interesting group, but I can't find who's going to take the lead. These horses all like to come out of it, so Vagabond Shoes, to me, is going to be the favorite simply off the last race. I picked the last race. Pardon me?
You had him in that race.
I had him in that race, and you had C. Sage, so we hit the exacta, if you remember that. You had the long shot, and I had the favorite. So I got to go back with Vagabond Shoes, but I'm thinking that Gary Stevens just may try to steal this race with Timarain on the outside. He's shown some speed in the past, especially a couple back on the turf at Hollywood Park, and I think he may try to dictate the pace. In a 5-horse field, you never can tell what's going to happen. Sometimes you think there'll be no traffic problems, but Vagabond Shoes might not get a great trip. So I'm going to take a little bit of exacta box with Timarain and Vagabond Shoes. Hopefully Timarain can get it at a little bit of a price.
Same line of thinking with me. It's what I thought that Timarine's my pick actually to win, just because I can see Stevens just seizing control of this race. He's very good at doing that when there's a issue with the pace. We saw him do it with Oxbow and Preakness last year. Vagabond Shoes have to use Luke Hayen, the 3 for Neil Drysdale would have to use as well. So Timarine to win, and then 5 over the 1 and the 3 in exactas. And with those are 3 really good horses. I mean, you might get, in the high teens, even if the favorite wins, and then Timarine's in there. I don't think Timarine will be favored. So that's who we like in the stakes races this weekend. You also have a Derby prep, remember, on Sunday out at New Mexico, the Sunland Derby. So keep an eye on that. Keep your Keeneland Select accounts funded. As you're watching all this basketball this weekend, you may want to play a race and want to make sure you've got the funds to do so. Wish you a lot of luck with your picks. Hopefully we gave you some winners. We'll be back to talk about it and do some more picks. Next week's Florida Derby and Louisiana Derby. So a big weekend on the road to the Kentucky Derby. Coming up, we'll be talking about it right here on the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.